As you all know, it's been 2 days now since the passing of Kobe Bryant, and when I heard the news, I was also shocked like everybody else. Uh, I woke up actually late that morning, and I saw a news that came out, and it was saying that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. It was like fake news, so I didn't know until I went and see other news outlets saying the same thing, and it just dawned on me. It's funny how I got so affected knowing that I'm a Boston fan, but also I'm a basketball fan, and maybe that's why. And learning about Kobe through some of the books that I've read. One of my favorite book was Relentless, where it talked about his killer instinct, on his work ethic and his mentality about the game. And we actually had a podcast of that with Jarrett, and we that was a year ago when we discussed about the Mamba mentality. And just to see him now, he's gone. And what really hit home for me, and this is going to be a very short video blog, but what hit me is Kobe Bryant's 41 years old, and I'm 40. And sometimes just the reality of knowing that life is just too short. Hindi mo talaga alam kailan. And Kobe was at the top of his life, not just his game, but his life. He was there. He's an all-star. He's an icon. He has set up his family for success. He is now into business. He has a retirement plan. If you would see how his savings are, you would see that he has prepared for life. And nobody would have even thought that Kobe would die this soon. Just reminds me of how short life is. And you could be at the top of your game. You could be the most successful man now, or you could be somebody that people look up to. And you could be the most loving father. You could be a follower of Christ. You could be a famous YouTuber or a famous person. Yet death chooses no one. It's just there's no favoritism when it comes to death. When death comes, it comes, and this is the reality of life. And maybe as a pastor, I should get used to it already. Going through many funeral services every month, yet death still has something that 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 hits you, especially when you know the person who died has impacted so many lives. And just something that I something that's just so real for me right now is death in so many ways gives us the proper perspective about life. Funny, how death could actually bring perspective to life. And the death of Kobe just makes us reassess and prioritize what's really important. Some of us, you might be on the top of your game when it comes to business. You're a millionaire now, you're successful, you have everything, you've got things mapped out. And knowing Kobe, he would have things mapped out already in his life. But then just one crash. Everything's gone, and makes me think about how many times I've tried to focus so much of my energy into something that I misprioritize important things in life, whether it's family, whether it's my time with my God, whether it's my faith. Sometimes they say you only live once, and so party hard. But I think it has a different effect on me knowing that I only live once. I have to make it matter. And for Kobe, I think his example of him being a family man, him going to church in the midst of success, he didn't put that into his head. Uh, Very humble, yet at the same time achieve so much in life, just makes you rethink again. Parang ano bang ginagawa ko, no? Ano bang priorities ng buhay ko? One of the things that I always share when somebody dies, during funeral is the verse in Acts where it talks that when David served the purposes of God in his generation, he fell asleep and laid down with his fathers, and his body saw corruption. And that verse means a lot to me because it talks about David serving the purposes of God. And maybe there are three important truths and things that I want to discuss in this video. Number one is the Bible says that David served the purposes of God in his own generation. You know, we can easily serve our own purposes, our own purpose here in life, and we can tend to be so selfish with our goals, our dreams, and ambitions that sometimes we forget that to find meaning in life, I need not to serve my own purpose, but to serve the purposes of God. Because the purposes of God requires us to see others and live for others and sacrifice for the need of others. We make the people around us better. And just showing the respect the people had with Kobe when he died, how all teams, all teams just tried to honor him, whether it's a 24 shot clock violation in honor of his number, or the 8-second backcourt violation to honor his other number, and they're retiring 2 of his jersey numbers. And when his teammates would honor him because he made them better, it makes you realize, have I served the purposes of God? Have I made the lives of other people better? When David served the purposes of God in his own generation, the Bible says he fell asleep. And I think this is something that's very particular in Scripture, where a person, the term used for death is he's fallen asleep. Somebody who believes in God falls asleep, and you hear that among Filipinos. Si Lola natutulog lang, o si Tatay natutulog lang. And it's a language we use to soften the blow. But for the believers, for the Christians, when they say that David fell asleep, it was because they understood that there is an afterlife. There's a life after death. And he's just falling asleep, and one day we will all see him again in heaven. And this is something that actually helped me cope with the loss of my mom. My mom had lung cancer and died at the age of 70. And seeing her in pain, but realizing that now she's with God in heaven, and that there's no more tears and no more pain, just gives you that joy knowing that she's in better hands now because she's with God. And it's the same way, all of us will one day fall asleep. And he says he fell asleep with his fathers. It shows us the importance of family. When we enter the world, we entered this world through our mother's womb. And when we die, most of us, the people that would surround us in our sickbed, the people who would mourn for us, would be our family, whether we like it or not. I visited so many people who were on their deathbed, and almost no miss, 9 out of 10 times, 99% of the time, it's the family there. It again goes back again to what's truly important, what truly matters in life. How's your relationship with your family? How's your relationship with your parents? When was the last time you ever said, I love you? The past 2 months, my second daughter has been so clingy. Like, she's been embracing me a lot. She wants to spend time with me. And there were times I felt like, hey, that's too much. You're asking too much from dad. But then now, even after Kobe's death with the 13-year-old, I have a 13-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old daughter. And they want to spend time with me. And I hope that I could really leverage on that passion that they have to spend time with me. And just a word for all the dads who are here today. more than money, more than the money that you bring home, I think what our kids really need is our presence, our attention. And that's the biggest thing that our sons and our daughters are looking for. It's us. It's our time. And that's also one of the reasons I'm not as consistent with my vlog. It's because of time with family. I know I need to spend more time with them. I work hard, I give it all I got, but when I get home, I try as much as possible to give it also my best with my sons and my daughters. Still playing action figures with my sons, still trying to spend time with my daughters, teaching them basketball, teaching them some things in life, spending time driving them around, making sure to go on daddy dates. These are things we fight for because you never know. And I think, again, going back to Kobe's death, you just know that he's a family man. Lost a lot of time with his family when he was in the NBA, yet he tried to make it all up. And I think we all need that same effort in making sure we are spending time with our family. And it says, again, to end the verse, it says, and David's body saw corruption. No matter how hard we work, no matter how successful we are, as what I said, death is the greatest equalizer in the world. All of us will die one day. And it goes back to everyone who's watching, everyone who's still breathing today. Ask the hard and the right questions. How am I on the things, on the people that really matters the most? How's my relationship with my God? How's my relationship with my family and my loved ones? How's my relationship with my community? Because at the end of the day, our body will decay. And I do hope that through the death of this person, we get reminded of that. And as I end this video, I just want to take this time really to encourage everyone to go back and analyze your life and ask the question, what's truly important? Tinitipid mo ba ang pamilya mo pero magastos ka sa ibang bagay? May memories ka bang create para sa kanila? Kamusta kayo ng asawa mo? Okay ba kayo? Pinaglalaban nyo ba yung marriage nyo? Para yan yung maiwan yung legacy sa mga anak nyo. Kasi hindi mo talaga alam kailan. You will really never know when the time will come. And this is such a sobering message to all of us. Kobe's 41, I'm 40. I could be at the top of my game. I could be so excited planting churches, making disciples, being a pastor, writing books, producing contents. But we'll never know. We'll never know. So, nakakasober lang din. So I hope this video finds us well. I hope this makes us think of what's truly important. And to Kobe, if you're in heaven, just want to say thank you so much for all the memories. Thank you for making NBA so good. Watching NBA has been such a delight. Ang dami kong oras na sinayang dahil naglalaro ako ng NBA 2K dahil sa'yo at saka sa mga iba pa magagaling na players. But thank you so much, Kobe, and I hope we learn from his life. God bless you all.